Hey, this is Rob Powell coming to you from the Real Wealth Company. Thanks for visiting our blog. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about using a contract versus using a letter of intent, also known as LOI. But before I go into that, I want to first tell you some exciting news about the Real Wealth community. If you remember, I had a video talking about how we're going to offer a lot of information for free, all of our information for free. And I'm not just talking about how to invest in commercial real estate, but the documentation you need from contracts, letter of intents, land trusts, you name it, analysis spreadsheets, so forth. All the information you need to invest in commercial real estate. And we're excited. We're going to provide that in another site called the Real Wealth Community, all free. All you have to do is give us your email, register, get your login and password, and it's all done. And anyways, if you're wondering why I'm doing this while I'm driving, well, I'm sure it's illegal in New Mexico as well as any other state, but I am on my way to see an apartment complex in Texas. We are in the due diligence phase, and that due diligence phase is wrapping up this week. That means our earnest money goes hard. And so I'm going to see the complex, visit with the due diligence team, make sure everything checks out before our money goes hard. I also call this the free look period, where you can actually control a property, test it out, make sure it's something you want to buy before you are into it, before you sign in blood. So anyways, even after due diligence period, I do have a contingency, financing contingency in place that'll help me get out of the deal if my financing doesn't come through. But really, this is the time where everything needs to check out before we lose our earnest money and before we close. So anyways, today's topic is in regards to using a contract to submit your offer or a letter of intent or an LOI. I remember being at a conference and I was asked this question, and I remember stating that, hey, I use an LOI because it opens the door to things without having to go through a contract. And if you've seen a commercial real estate contract, you know you're dealing with 20, 30 pages. And an LOI is one page, and it identifies the real, the terms that you really need to nail out before you go into a contract. Now that is opinion. I also remember being at a conference where the question was asked to a panel, and there was about 5 guys on the panel, 4 of them in their 30s, the other guy was in his 60s. Well, guess what? The younger guys, the ones in their 30s, they all used an LOI. The older gentleman uses a contract. And really that's basically, you use what you're used to. And I find that pretty often in the industry, is that old school people, people that have done business for a long time, are used to a contract, and that's how they like to submit an offer. An LOI is pretty prevalent with the younger generation, and I like to use an LOI. And here's why. An LOI is very simple. It states the terms that you want to get out of the way before you can go to the details of the contract, the price, the length of the due diligence, the length before you close. If I have any wanting to have seller financing in place, I throw that in there. Nail out the big stuff first and then go to a contract. Versus a contract, it's long and you have a lot of details there that really you don't want to. I don't like to spend time negotiating from the get-go, because usually they're very negotiable. Why deal with that early on when you just really want to get to the price, to the terms, the big picture terms? So I use an LOI, but either way works. And so don't feel bad for using a contract or using an LOI. Either way works. Just get them submitted, get your deal under contract. And again, I will have several versions of an LOI available in the Real Wealth community when it goes live. So you can take your pick and choose which one you like. I'm so happy to offer that stuff for free to you. So anyways, cheers. This is Rob Powell with the Real Wealth community, the Real Wealth blog, and the Real Wealth Company.